Or if you have a male coworker who's asking you to say they, them, because now they're non-binary. Like, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to go along with it, be nice, and make things socially comfortable by using the pronouns that they like? No, a Christian should not be using preferred pronouns.
Of course, that was surprising. I wasn't sure if she was going to say that they should use preferred pronouns, but she went exactly the direction that I didn't expect. So we're gonna get into it. I'm Brently. This is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So this lady, well, she's somebody new. I'm just gonna call her Little Miss Bigot, because I'm not trying to give more steam to this lady than she deserves. So it's she's pretty small, but this was sent to me from Jess. So Jess, thanks for sending this in. So we're gonna take a look at it. I'm just gonna keep playing it from here. You get the idea, right? Like I don't need to have her introduce everything, right? Like.
And there's two reasons why. So the first thing we're going to get into is that words matter. So to build up this case, we're going to start with scripture. So I'm going to look.
I like how she had to say that like slow, like words matter. Okay. That words are things that mean stuff at times. So that's why, that's rule one. Remember that words do mean things. Okay.
Look at John 1:1. John 1 begins, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Now, if you believe this to be true, I mean, it's very clear that words are powerful. It's literally saying the Word was God. So the Word is actually a name for God himself.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to like that that mentality of trying to find all the connections and everything, the conspiracy thought, like the push pins and yarn, all that type of stuff. It branches out from religious thought and religious behavior so much because of stuff like this. They're like, "Oh, words matter. Okay, now let me control F for the whole Bible for the word." And then they're like, "Oh, look, this is for the very first part of John. First John, what's going on? It says the word was God. Oh man, that must mean that words matter. The Bible says that, yeah, that the God is a word, basically. Somehow, I don't know why this makes any sense, and it doesn't. But look, we found the word.
And if God would go by the name the Word, then words must be pretty impactful. And we see an example of this.
I thought she was going to stop at pretty. That means that words must be pretty. They are pretty. I think I love words that are pretty.
At the start of a different book of the Bible. So if we go to Genesis, it begins, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said..."
Why were there waters? I never understood that. Like, what was going on before? They always talk about like how crazy it is that there was like a before the Big Bang kind of thing, but there's like a before God created everything thing, but water's there. Water's just, just already in existence before God started. It almost sounds like God didn't make the universe out of nothing, you know? He started with water, I guess. I don't know.
said, "Let there be lights," and there was lights. And of course, the story of creation continues, but we see that God speaks creation into existence, showing very clearly that words are powerful, that God's using the manifestation of words to literally create into existence.
It's funny too, because I was literally just watching Aaron Ra talking about this, saying that like the reason that God spoke the universe into existence in the beginning of Genesis was because of the fascination with incantations from that time period, right? So like they had they wrote down in the book that God would be using, like basically doing incantations to create everything, because that's like how they think. That's how they were. It was very popular at the time. It's interesting.
The entire universe. So words are meaningful, words are powerful. So
Wow, that face. Hold on. It looks like she lost track. Hold on. She's like, what am I doing next? Watch.
manifestation of words to literally create into existence the entire universe. So words are meaningful, words are powerful.
What is this face? I was like, okay, I'm doing good. I'm getting there. Okay, what's the next thing I gotta say? I gotta do. Can you do the next card, please? Do the next card. This is my like change cards face. Okay, you know.
So if anyone says, they're just words, it's just what people say, it's just how they talk, that is not a Christian point of view. It actually is a point of view that lines up with other philosophies. So I have this book.
Like Satan.
It's just this big collection of things. It's called Western Literature and
Oh,
World Context.
with that.
So I was looking through this one day and was actually surprised to find this quote. This is a quote from Lao Tzu, who was an ancient philosopher from the time before Christ.
Oh.
So in one of his works, he says this: existence is beyond the power of words. To define, terms may be used, but are none of them absolutes. In the beginning of heaven and earth, there were no words. Words came out of the womb of matter. And what a contrast we see there.
And so that philosopher said stuff that's different than what I'm saying right now. So, that's pretty serious, right? Like, what is her point? I don't know. So she's just saying that like the philosophy of stuff that was before Christ, which honestly, that guy seemed to be a little bit smarter than the people that wrote the Bible, seeing how he's like saying that words do matter. Or I mean, words weren't there in the beginning. It's almost like that bit where that comedian was like, for millions of years, our planet just was like, all the dinosaurs, everything, all that anybody heard ever was just and it's like that's cool. I think that's an interesting thing to think about.
It says the opposite of what the Bible says, right? In the beginning of heaven and earth, there were no words. Whereas the biblical narrative is that words were literally used to create the universe, and that in the beginning was the word.
The in the beginning was a being that didn't need to have a beginning, and then that being said words, and then that that created everything. All of this is perfectly normal and rational. Of course we would think this. Why? Because a book with a talking donkey in it said so. Jesus.
So this idea that words are meaningless or not important or trivial is not a biblical worldview.
Do people say that? Like, I don't know where she's getting this from necessarily, saying that like, oh, words aren't a big deal. Like, if you're trying to be respectful, words are a big deal when it comes to like being polite to other people. And if people ask you to behave in a particular way or say that, it reminds me of like somebody like Michael here. We got Michael here, right? And it looks like Michael likes to go by Michael, right? And so I wouldn't go Mike, especially after if Michael said, please don't call me Mike. I'd be like, okay, I won't call you. I won't call you Mike. Right? That's just a polite thing to do. Just address people the way that they want to be addressed. But see, the thing is, religious people, Christians specifically, always think that what matters to them matters more than anybody else. Right? So what's important to them is more important overall than what's important to anybody else, and especially more important to those than what's important to those dirty heathens, that just want to be addressed incorrectly according to the talking donkey book.
In the Bible, it's very consistent that words are meaningful and powerful. So a couple more scriptures that emphasize this point.
Okay, let's take a break here. This lady. Okay, wow, interesting. All right, so who won today? Who won? Well, Jess won because this was her her video. I was like, I'm doing the video today, Jess. And she was like, all right. And then she was first. So that's how that goes. That's how that went. Let's see. Yeah, they just like, but literally just because you messaged me. Yes. Like just 5 minutes ago. Yep. And Ember second. All right, cool. Hell yeah. And Worm Food's third, as usual. Always right in there, you know. Oh, what do we got here? We got. Oh, sorry. What am I doing? Is that video title for real? Yes, it's Can Christians Use Pronouns? This is their up and coming podcast on episode 3. And I'm not saying it because I don't care. I don't care about the name. Doesn't matter. And then we got Reverend Atheist here. How we doing? What are you doing? Get your butt get your butt some stuff. You know, that's what I'm saying. We'll get there. We'll get to the spot where we get butts stuffs and stuffs for butts and all that. But let's see. Ever said words matter. So let's start with fables. There we go. Yeah. Because I mean, yes, words matter. I know it's weird that they the way that they come like try to say that what they want matters more than everybody else is like, but words matter. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I'd like to be addressed the way that I like to be addressed. I feel like this isn't what? Well, why can't you just no? Because words matter. And they're like, and then they'll turn around and say truth matters, and then turn around and be like, and I've got an undead carpenter ghost that lives inside me that tickles me when I sing songs about him. And you're like, oh, okay, that's supposed to, but we're supposed to respect that. We're supposed that is beyond, like, we have to nod along to that insanity, right? But if somebody just doesn't identify the way that you think they should, according to the insanity book, then you have the right to mistreat them, right? It's insane. It's so entitled. Religious people are so fucking entitled. Drives me crazy. My God. So, oh yeah, and trigger warning for this one. Clearly, I guess I should have put that at the beginning. I don't know. I didn't really watch. I watched a little bit of this one, but I didn't get too far because I sort of wanted it to be all fresh. But you kind of get the idea real quick there. It's not like this is hard to figure out where this is going, right? But let's see here. Wormfood said, he really just said not to use preferred pronouns. So is he thinks Christians have to misidentify everyone, right? Yeah, that I know, right? Everyone. That's the thing. Everyone. You have to misidentify everybody, right? Whether they're transgender or cis or anything. Just do the opposite of literally all of it, okay? Because words matter, and we don't use preferred pronouns. No, of course they're saying we only care about the pronouns that the people we don't like use, right? That's their thing. Jesus. Just said, what gets me is that she's likely married, so she changed her name to that and changed her prefix from Miss to Mrs. But words are important, right? Yeah, I guess because all of that's allowed, right? That's all part of tradition. So you're allowed to change those names. So that and the way that they are addressed, that's the normal way to do it. So it's again okay for me, but not for thee. That's kind of the thing. Like I'm living in accordance to the right stuff. That's what it really is. I feel like a lot of times they get mad. They get mad that they are doing everything they think they're supposed to be doing and are not happy. They're not happy. They have to lie and say that they're happy. They have to pretend to be happy because that's like how you sell the whole package of their belief system and their worldview. And like, this is what makes you happy. And it's like, they're not happy. So then when they see people that are not living in accordance with all the rules that they are following through the fucking T, they see you and they get mad. They're like, how come this person gets to, like, they seem like they are actually happy, they don't seem like they're just pretending, and I hate that because here I am following all the rules, pretending to be happy, and there they are just breaking rules and get to actually be happy. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. And like they're part of a friend group that's so judgmental. You can't do anything in this friend group. Everybody, it doesn't matter what you do. You can say "gosh" and you'll have a finger wagging in your fucking face. Yeah, because that you're not allowed to do anything, and they're all just the most unaccepting people ever. And that's their friend group. That's why I love going to like punk rock things. You know, we don't judge each other. We don't care. You don't have. Then when we say like, oh, you got to dress punk, you don't have to dress punk. There's a dude that shows up with like pink stuff. What do you call that? The feather boa type stuff all over a jacket. Yeah, and we love him. Guy's great. He's funny. He's just a good dude. No, we don't judge. The other spaces that I love are queer spaces because again, no judgment. You just get to be you. You just get to have fun, hang out, and nobody's out there going, man, look how stupid they are. I hate that person. They're too weird. They're too weird. They don't do that. They're like, we're all awesome. This is great. Let's have fun. Let's just do you and let's enjoy ourselves. Ember said, so God is language? Yes. I mean, okay. So the verse that she's talking about, in the beginning, the word was God and the word was with God and whatever. I remember hearing that, we express love through our words, right? This is this is the type of mindfuck connection stuff that people make in religion and why it's so easily transmittable into conspiracy nonsense, right? Because you're saying like they God or yeah, we communicate love through words. We like say I love you and all that sort of stuff. Well, God communicated his love through Jesus. So that's why they called Jesus the Word. It makes perfect sense if you refuse to think about it in any way other than exactly what they are saying you should think about it. That's sort of how it goes. James said, yo, YouTube didn't notify me. I'm sorry. Shit. All right. Well, I don't know. I want to make it clear too. I just in case anybody that's not a member was trying to watch that other video, I said it's a membership only because I don't know. I want something up for members. I didn't get a chance to do the extra membership thing this morning, and so I was like, that was just like a day preview. Yeah, like 20-hour freebie, and then now it's a membership video. So and I'm going to be doing some more membership streams. I'm still trying to figure out which day I want to do the membership streams. But anyway, Word Food said, I thought Jesus was the Word and God used Jesus to create. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like everything that was created through Jesus. But I feel like that verse was just to really solidify that they really wanted Jesus to actually be God, or at least be equal to God, So I don't know. I feel like that might be what the purpose of that verse was. But of course, he didn't actually become God until far later, and they voted on it. That's how you know true things about God. You vote. All right.
Are from Proverbs. So this is Proverbs 12:18. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. So really,
what happened? Something messed up. Camera person fell asleep. That's what that is. They fell asleep. Oh shit! Am I supposed to be doing? Oh man. Am I supposed to show the Bible or you? Both. Hold on now. I wish you would have said this ahead of time. We're moving kind of quickly here.
Power to harm someone or to help someone is in our tongue. And we also see in Proverbs.
Yeah, that is right. The power to help someone is in your tongue, and you can do some glorious things with that tongue. You know what I mean? Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brently at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com. I don't know why I said it like that. Uh, enter code word Brently. That's Brently. And, you can get stuff to accompany your tongue or their tongue or everybody's tongue. Like, you can do all sorts of stuff with tongues. They are fun things, you know? Why do you think God gave us tongues? It's not to talk. It's not for that. No, that was a secondary. That was a secondary thing that came later after she came. Once she came, then the talking came later. It was the whole anyway. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brently, and check out to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. And and the packaging is discreet, so you don't have to worry about that. Right? All right. Back to the lady talking about tongues.
1821. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit.
Come on. Why are they doing this to me, man? You're going to make me make the same joke over and over again. Those who love it will eat its fruits. The tongue will eat. I don't know. Just,
So we see in both of these verses really the same message, that your tongue can damage someone or heal someone, can destroy a person or make their life better. So we always should be careful with our words. Our words are very significant.
It's so
and they
weird.
matter to God.
Okay, so it's so weird that she's doing this because, like, she's saying that words matter. She's like, you can, like, really hurt someone with your words. And then she's basically going on to say that you should really hurt people with your words by mistreating people that they think aren't living in accordance to their weird wackadoo religion that they want everybody to validate at every goddamn turn, and to the point of, like, putting it on every goddamn fucking political establishment. My religion is true, but can you make sure to put my religion as the true one? Let's do the 10 commandments so we can make sure it says don't worship any other fucking gods but mine. Make sure that's on every government building. I need validation, but when it comes to just being respectful to somebody that lives in a way that's different from you, you have to be disrespectful. And that she's sitting here saying that she knows that words can harm people. And she's like, yeah, and you should do that. God, they're such assholes.
So the next point to help us understand why a Christian should not be using preferred pronouns is that the truth matters. So when we're using a pronoun to refer to someone that doesn't match with who they actually are, we're really practicing deceit and we're lying to them. Our culture really values love. You see love all the time.
The crazy thing about this, and this is so frustrating for me, because they are actually lying. These Christians are the ones that are actually lying. They're saying that they have this ghost inside them, that they have this undead carpenter ghost that lives inside of them, and they pretend to cannibalize it. And they are acting like all of this is real, but there's actually a ghost just floating around in there, like telling them which decisions to make and everything. And that is not lying. That is perfectly real. But trans people, now they are lying. When trans people aren't lying, they're being perfectly fucking honest about who they are, and what they have going on between their legs and exactly how they live. Like, they're just being themselves, right? There's no deceit there. They're just being honest about who they are. Otherwise, they wouldn't. The word trans wouldn't be a thing, right? It would just be, I'm a woman, or I'm a cisgendered woman. That's not what they're saying, ever. They're just being like, nah, I'm just me, though. That's being honest. That's not lying. What they are doing is fucking lying.
We should love each other, accept each other, welcome each other. And sometimes churches want to jump on this bandwagon because obviously as Christians, we also value love. But we need to recognize that the love taught about in the Bible is very different.
The love taught about in the Bible.
Okay. Than the love that's described by our culture. So let's look at how the Bible actually talks about love. So we're going to go to a famous passage.
It's the most unconditional love ever.
In 1 Corinthians, I'm going to start in verse 4. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud.
Oh my God.
It does not dishonor others.
Boom. What do you think it is when you don't use the preferred pronouns, you fuckhead? You're dishonoring people. and acting like an asshole, being basically the opposite of all these things. You're not patient. You're definitely not fucking kind. I don't know where you get that from. And like you're absolutely being self-seeking. You're saying what matters to you matters more than what matters to anybody else.
It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in
Dude,
evil.
that one, it keeps no record of wrongs. It's so interesting to me. I'm like, half of the stuff that's in this little list is like, these are the things that I need you to believe so I can abuse you. You know, like, don't keep any record of wrongs. Don't you do it. Don't, so I can keep doing the wrongs. That's the thing. That way, if you don't keep records of it, then, you know, if we're not going to talk about what the wrongs are, you know, then I get to keep doing the wrongs. That's how that.
Evil, but rejoices with the truth. And this is really the contrast to the love that's in the world and the love that God teaches us to have. That when we love someone, we cannot delight in the evil things that they're doing, but rather we rejoice in the truth. So when someone's coming to you and
The truth of the nonsense that you believe, that it's like actually deceitful and self-deceit.
they're looking for your acceptance and affirmation of their lifestyle that is against the life they're supposed to live.
No, what so you don't have to. We're not. Nobody's looking for you to be like, oh, we need your ultimate approval of everything, like we do and think and how we behave and everything. Man, we don't give a fuck about your approval. Okay, we're just trying to get along and be polite. Okay, I'm actually against your lifestyle, lady. It seems like it's an abusive relationship done on purpose, right? It's you purposefully putting yourself in a position to be abused and then be okay with it. I'm against that. But I'm going to be polite to you. I'm going to be a kind person. And I'm not going to sit there and wag my finger and judge you to your face and everything. Even though it sounds like you fucking deserve it.
It is not your place to delight in that, and to do so would be against the nature of love. To love that person, you need to be willing to speak the
You
truth.
need to not accept them ever. You don't accept anybody ever. That's the whole thing. Like, and their whole like loving God is all about not accepting anybody, like at all. Like, even if you try your absolute goddamnedest, you're still not accepted from their God. You know, because they're like, oh no, you're still doing bad stuff that you just don't even realize you're doing bad. So you're broken. You're just automatically broken. That's why you need the magical spell, the magical words, the incantation to say, Jesus, come into my life and then protect me from, you know, being, from the sin or whatever that you can't handle being around. And he's got to cover your sins with his blood, whatever, you know, that whole fucking thing. It's like, it's so conditional of the love. And it's like, it's almost so conditional that they made it's like they made a loophole because God's just so unaccepting of anybody.
And really, the truth is a beautiful message. It's that they don't need to change who they are. Because you see, the act of transgenderism is an act of destruction. In taking on a new identity, they are destroying their current identity. It's really the equivalent of
What are you talking about? That is their identity. That's just is their identity. What do you mean? Like, you're destroying their current identity. No, the way that they are behaving, because everybody's demanding that they behave that way because that's what's normal, it is what is destroying their identity. You got it exactly backwards, lady. Jesus, because they're so used to just having to do what everybody else like demands that they do in the group. And it's just this, oh God, it's such a nightmare. I'm like so relieved that I don't have to be part of this shit anymore. You know, that I don't have to like bend over backwards to appease the nut bags that are running around with their Bible going, but you're not following this verse though. And they're always just going to do it. Doesn't matter how hard you try. You could be fucking Jesus goddamn Christ. And they would still go, I don't know, though. There says the Bible, because the Bible's inco fucking hear it. It doesn't make sense. And it contradicts itself all over the place and says that literally just doing anything you could see as a sin if you look through the thing enough,
Suicide, because they are destroying the person that they are, and they're trying to become someone that they are not.
The other ironic thing here, oh my God, there's just so much deep irony here. Like, how many songs? I mean, as an apostate, I sang a lot of religious songs, right? How many of those songs said, "I want to be less of me and more of you"? Please make me not me. Please make me like you. And yet, here they are saying exactly the opposite. Oh, being trans is actually not being who you are. But being who you are in Christ is who you are, which isn't who you are. You are asking to not be who you are, to be somebody else. It's so fucking ridiculous. It's insane.
It's not the act of the Bible, right? When Jesus transforms our life, he redeems us, right? But in the act of transgenderism, there's a destruction of the person that they are. So as Christians,
it's like she's not getting that she's literally saying that Christianity does that. Christianity is destruction of the person that you are. They want you to destroy who you are so that you can be this other person. And yet that's their problem with people that are trans. Oh my God, it's incredible. It's fucking incredible. I'm just like, how do these people, how have they made it this long? How do they not get punched? Is this the reason all these ladies are getting punched in the face in the street? Is it because of this? Jesus. Ember said the waters pre-exist God because the Hebrew copied the Babylonian creation myth imperfectly. In the original, what they call the water was the Tiamat, the being of chaos, and Marduk divided the waters. Interesting. Oh, that's right, because they do divide the waters, right? Because they had to do something about figuring out why the rain comes down. Like, somebody must have separated waters and put a bunch out there in the sky, because sometimes that stuff just comes falling down. We got to figure out an excuse for that. So it's the thing that I just said. Yeah, interesting. Wormfood said, so about that, I'm being in the beginning translates better from Hebrew as when God first began. The world already existed, but God created the land and stuff. In the original myth, El defeated. Oh wait, I guess it's part one. Where's that? There it is. El defeated the great serpent Leviathan and spit its body into 7 sections to raise the lands from the seas. Genesis is a bootleg version of the Canaanite creation myth. Interesting. That's fascinating. I had no idea about that. It makes sense though, because I feel like a lot of these old myths and legends, they pull from one another. It's not like it's all like they're all just so original. I don't know why. There's like certain concepts that I guess translate over cultural lines or something in the past. But Michael said, words come out of womb. Trust me, I could have heard a whisper and it never happened. Oh, and what about the 3 previous written religions? Yeah, they don't count. Those don't matter. They're not the real deal ones. Okay, those were just evil pagan ones, right? Sure, yeah. Warford said, ever fuck yes, Marduk and Tiamat closely parallel El and Leviathan, Leviathan, yeah, suggesting there was an even older creation myth in Mesopotamia they all drive from. Interesting. Okay, cool. I did not know that. Yeah, it's a lot of this stuff gets so confusing because there's just so much. There's just so it's like, it reminds me of like looking up aliens stuff. There's a lot of source material. You know what I'm saying? A lot of source material to pull from. and it's kind of hard to figure out which is the like the main one, because they all get kind of like mixed up and all that type of stuff over time. And yeah, I feel like those old creation myths and stuff kind of go through the same thing. Grand Theft Auto Buy, what's up, dude? Isn't God referred to as him and he? Is their book of in their book of fables? Been a while since I read the Bible last, though. Yeah, because gender does matter to them. It actually does matter. Uh, and it's funny if you just misgender their God. Wow, you can see, so you do know that it's upsetting and hurtful to do this, and they're like, yeah, I do know that. And they're like, that's why I'm doing it, because I'm just that terrible, because there's no hate like Christian love. Let's see, Wolfo said, right out the shower and into the live stream. Goddamn right. It's a naked wolf over here, just I'm like shaking the water off, doing that dog thing, and then sat down at the computer screen. Now the computer screen's all wet. It's a big mess, actually. To run back and get a towel and be drying off. It's a whole thing. That's what's going on right now. Michael said, after dumping the Christian religion, I've even learned far more about that crappy book. I know. Yeah, it's funny how that works, right? I used to read the thing every day, and once I deconverted, it was like I learned so much, so many verses and stuff. And like I basically read through the whole thing again, but it was like from this completely different perspective, and it was fascinating to see all the stuff that it was like, and I remember seeing it because I read the Bible, like I read it a couple times, so I must have read over this stuff. But I think when you're like rationalizing everything, it's like you don't see the words on the page, because half the time what they're doing is telling you not to see the words on the page. They're like, oh, no, that's what they say, but that's what they mean. That's not what I mean. Don't pay attention to the words there. That's not, they mean this other thing over here that we're rationalizing it to mean. And then your brain just goes to the rational thing and then just skips over it, and that's it. And you forget all about it. So like when I went back and read the Bible for like the fourth or fifth time, as an atheist, it was like, oh my God, this book is like so different than what I remember. It's wild how that works. But yes, Androzilla has, what's that, an acorn? I don't know what this is. I don't know. Is that what is it? Is it a baby? An acorn? I don't know. I can't see it. Grand Theft Autobot said, if they don't care about our pronouns, so I'm not going to care about their nouns, and they're constantly call them whatever name I think of. Exactly. There you go. I mean, look, based on like the categorical imperative, right? That'd be kind of the way to do it. Kind of show them the universal law that they are creating by doing those behaviors, right? By mistreating people like that. And so, hey, you're saying it's okay. You're saying it's okay to disrespect people as long as they don't live in accordance with what you believe. Well, you don't live in accordance with what I believe, so I get to be disrespectful to you. That's their system. Don't get mad at me. You set up the system, okay? I'm just allowing you to be part of the system that you decided we're going to be a part of, okay? Don't get mad at me, all right? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Amber said, in Hebrew, the pronoun for God is gender neutral. So if the faithful cared about truth and words, they call their God they, them. Yeah, that makes sense too. I could see that. Like old, because I don't know. I feel like the earliest understandings of God would be fluid. Like you wouldn't have, because I'm actually surprised, like as the giver of life or whatever, that it doesn't have women, from back then, the way that they would think about stuff, that the God being wouldn't have women, female, whatever, woman pronouns, whatever, because they're like the giver of life and all that type of stuff, right? And give birth to babies, whatever. That would, I would think, would from back then would have translated to, oh yeah, they're just like God or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was kind of surprised. But I guess because there's patriarchal stuff, and it's a lot of just trying to get people to be okay with being abused. That seems to be religion's main goal, is like, you need to be okay with suffering, you know, because that's what we're trying to program you to do, is to program you to suffer, and you got to be cool with it. But Michael said, uh, Michael said, hey, well, saying hey to everybody. Looks like the gang has assembled. That's right. Everybody's here. That's it. We made it. Let's see here. I'm going down. Wolfos is here. So last time I went to a punk get together, I wore a 3-piece suit and handed out lit blunts. I don't think anyone cared what I was wearing. Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I love it. And it's funny you said that, like with suits, because like a lot of rude boys go to show, and mods, you end up like seeing rude boys and mods all over the place. And they wear like suits and stuff, or rockabilly dudes, they kind of dress like greasers. You just got all sorts of different types of people all hanging out. And nobody cared. We all just like, hey, we're all just doing our own thing. It's fun. It's great. That's how friends should be. That's how, hangout time should be, Michael said the gay and lesbian bars were always more fun. Yeah, Jay's at least for us. Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I had to blast at those bars because again, no judgment. Everybody's just there to have fun, and nobody's being assholes about shit. You know what I mean? Drizzle said, "I prefer seeing what people do than what they say." That's a good point. Yeah. It doesn't really matter what you say, it's all about how do you live your life? How do you treat people? That's what's important, as far as I can tell. Wormfood said, clubs aren't even segregated in Denver anymore because the street realized we make parties better. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. So they're just like, what's so solid? We don't separate anymore. Yes, it's a gay bar too, sort of like it's it, which is smart, I would say. I mean, well, if it's smart in certain areas, I don't know if we could get away with that here in Florida. You don't want those dudes mixing in the crowd with the queer community. They will get in fights for no reason because we're in Florida and people are insane down here. That's just a lot of dude bro douchebags, a lot of them. And anyway, Michael said, "Awesome worm food. Next time we are in Colorado, we need to check it out. I did the Pikes Peak Marathon twice. Oh wow, that's awesome. What is that, a running one or a bike one? Let me see here. Ember said, mind what people do, not just what they say. Their deeds will betray a lie. Mind what people. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what you need to look out for. It's like how people behave. Yeah, that's like the main thing. Martin said, great segue from the Christian tongue to ad for sex. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. They make it so easy. I feel like they don't ever understand that they're just making my job easy, because they don't even know. They don't even know that they're doing this. It's like, oh, it's so funny. I love it. All right, let's get back to the tongue lady. What is this face she's doing? Anyway.
Christians, we want to tell people that they're made in the image of God, that their life has value and meaning, whether or not they feel like it, whether or not they feel like they're accepted by others, whether or not they feel like they fit in.
Only if you're saying they have like meaning and everything, but only if they basically decide that the meaning that they have is what you decide their meaning is, which is to live in accordance to your religion. If you don't do that, then you're not living out your meaning and your life isn't meaningful, right? So I don't know why they always go back to this. They're like, well, your life is meaning as long as you allow me to prescribe you your fucking meaning. All right. You listen, I tell you what matters. Okay. You don't tell you what matters. I tell you what matters.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't change that their life has value and purpose, and that they don't need hormone therapy, that they don't need surgery, that they don't need to be called someone that they are not in order to attain those things. And that's
Go fuck yourself, lady.
the loving message, is to tell them that they're already valued as they are and they don't
Then
need those treatments.
you're saying they're not. Oh my God. It's crazy. They're already valued as they are. And you don't need, so you're basically saying you're already valued, or you're only valued if you are not who they, who you, these Christians like want you to. If you're not who these Christians want you to be, you're not valued, right? And we're saying it's like, oh God, it's so frustrating because it's like exactly the opposite. Like a normal person would be like, you do have value, and you are, and meaning in your life, being who you actually are. People don't just, it's so weird. I don't understand how they think trans people think. It's like they think that they're not being themselves or something, which is, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why would somebody be, like, transition and go through everything if that's not who they are? That's a lot. That's a lot to go through. It's a whole, like, I never understood that. And they're like, no, you're just doing that because somebody convinced you to. Really, man? And you know why? You know why they think that? It's because it's fucking projection. They were duped. They were called, they were all going through something tough, right? Having an emotional meltdown, went to church. The guy on the stage gave the very, charismatic speech and told him, oh, you need to stand up. Just stand up, stand up. And then, oh, I see you. Oh, just ask Jesus in your heart. Stand up. And then you stood up in front of everybody, started crying, doing the whole thing. And then you gave everybody carte blanche fucking permission to rule your life from then on. And that, what you were manipulated by a social contagion. So you assume that everything is a social contagion because that's what got you.
And they don't need people to change the verbiage or the way that they speak about them. That might not be the message that they want to hear. It might be an uncomfortable conversation, but acknowledging the truth and speaking openly about
the truth that they have a ghost inside them, an undead carpenter ghost. And that's the truth. But if you don't behave like the gender they think you should, that is, then that's what's not true, because the ghost inside their head that's totally real, that they pretend to cannibalize and think it's normal, is what is actual truth.
Truth to them is meaningful and valuable in someone's life.
This camera person it's driving me. What are you doing? Stop. Get a tripod.
Your tongue, your words could be the healing that person needs.
I mean, I know my tongue has been healing many a time for many of dominatrix. I mean, many a person. And that's because I go to adamandeve.com and I enter code word Brently at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. It's like 10 free items, basically. And this is just great. The packaging is discreet. It's quick. It's got everything you could possibly think of for every scenario you can think of. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brently. That's Brently at checkout. All right, back to the crazy little Miss Bigot.
So this topic was a little bit heavy, so we're going to switch over now to something a little more lighthearted.
To drug addicts, right? That's what the drug addicts.
Random reactions.
Oh, okay. Because I thought she said at the beginning, they're like, how they're giving out Narcan or something, to people that for people that OD. I have Narcan. I keep it in my bag, just because I've had to use it before, because there's people OD a lot down here in Florida. But
for today's random reaction, we're going to look at a few different videos that have been circulating online and just give an honest response to what to think about whatever.
It's so okay. So she's got 2 cameras. She has one that is on the tripod, and then she's got one that's held by somebody with Tourette's syndrome, or not Tourette's, like somebody that's got some kind, like my condition, the condition that is to move all the time and can't sit still.
Where they're talking about in the video. So let's get started with this one.
History. What was that? Hold on. We got to go back to that face. I'm sorry.
Just give an honest response to what to think about whatever they're talking about in the video. So let's get started with this one.
What is that? Is that? Dude, it's the porn. The porn was still on the computer. Husband was like, "I'm sorry. Ah, shit. Ah, my bad. I meant to X that. Can you just X that and erase the history? Erase the history too." Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. So you can cut this out of the episode, right? This is gonna be on
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? Well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either.
Of course, this white lady.
I don't.
Of course, this white lady's so happy with minorities basically saying we don't need a month. We don't need. You know what we need? Nothing. We need nothing, and nobody should ever acknowledge anything that ever happened to us in history ever. I was just saying it the other day. I feel like. How people are always like, oh man, if you talk about racism, it just shuts the conversation down. It just shuts it down. It's just like, don't talk about it. Just don't even mention it. I always think of like, if cancer could talk, don't you think it would be like any mention of whether or not something could be cancerous is just shuts conversations down. Don't even talk about it. Don't talk about if somebody could have cancer, and definitely don't talk about testing for it or anything like that. No. We don't talk about this stuff. And it's so obvious. It's like, yeah, we just don't want these people, it's like racists just don't want people to ever acknowledge the problem that anything is even going wrong, right? Just like the cancer would be like, please don't ever test for cancer. Don't ever say it could possibly be, somebody might have cancer. Don't even address it. Let's just act like it. And then people are just falling over dead. They're like, I don't know. Probably something they ate, they probably just say it's something. It's definitely not cancer though. Don't check for that. Don't even check.
I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Stop talking about it. Really? So then people can just do it. And now you're not allowed to go. So, okay, so you're just allowed to be racist, and I'm not even allowed to say that something is racist. What do we want? What do like a different word for it? Asshole? Can we say that you're being an asshole? Why can't it be that it is the thing that it actually is? People are being racist, and it like shows that like these people that can get away with stuff, people of positions of power and everything can like literally be racist and not hire any Black people and not do treat them differently and everything. Hey, don't ever say it. Don't ever say it. Hey, I'm just treating people the way I feel is right. Okay. And, but don't ever say that I'm being racist, like, so that they can just get away with it. God damn, it's stupid.
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a Black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You want to say, well, I know this white guy named Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I love that video. I think that was a beautiful response.
Of course you do, white lady. And yep, you do. You're like, I wish everybody would just shut up about the racism thing so I can just be as disrespectful to everybody as I want without being called a racist. That'd be great.
Response from Morgan Freeman. Because I really love, there's a lot of African-American figures whose stories I enjoy and I benefit from. So sometimes when we have Black History Month and it's like supposed to be this separate thing, it's like, well, I love these stories and they should just be integrated into the history that we're already talking about. Like figures like George Washington Carver, right, who's known for creating peanut oil and then doing so many things with the peanut for helping his community.
But here's the thing, like in this, I'm in Florida, right? We literally had a governor say we're not allowed to teach certain history, basically proving that the CRT thing is absolutely accurate. Like you're not allowed. We're gonna ban CRT. We're gonna ban the notion that people would ban, certain historical facts because they're unsavory to the people of power, the white people of power. And then you got a white person of power saying, we got to ban all of that. And all that talk about banning stuff. It's insane. It's like meta fucking racism. It's insane.
Unity and promoting agriculture are people like Harriet Tubman and these people who.
And what were they doing? What was going on with her? What was she famous for, and why? Why is she? Is it because of all the stuff that you don't want to talk about? That
spoke out, against slavery, were abolitionists like Frederick Douglass. I mean, there's so many people who have inspirational stories that everybody can learn from, and everybody can benefit from these amazing people from our history. And it is all of our history, right? Our history is together. We are one.
It's so weird how they take things personally, It's like, but this is all of our history. How come it's just Black history? Well, I don't know. It's almost as if like that history was not allowed to be taught for a very significant portion of time and still has problems being taught in certain states. Like you name the rural state, and I guarantee there's like there was conversations about not teaching about slavery because they want to hide that history. They don't want to talk about it, which is why we had to be like, no, we have to have a whole month, right? We have to have a time where we do actually recognize their history, because otherwise they'll just act like it never happened, and then they'll keep repeating history.
Nation. And it is something that we can just come together about and celebrate who we are as a people without having to be divisive.
God, that you are the divisive one, man. That's so frustrating. You're the one with the fucking problem. I hate that they do this. They're like, I should be allowed to be racist and not ever be called racist. Oh, they're gonna play this fucking idiot. Great. But you can never call me racist, because that would be what's divisive. Not me being the thing, but you pointing to the thing that I'm doing and saying that's labeled racist. That's the problem. Not me doing the thing I'm doing. I'm allowed to. I should be allowed to do this. You're being divisive. You are, not me. Now I'm allowed to be racist, okay? But you're not allowed to call it racist.
Private equity is now doing this all over the country to franchise owners. It's kind of the last frontier for private equity of destroying small business in this country.
Correct. In the last 5 years, private equity acquisition of franchises have doubled and tripled each year, year over year. The independently owned small business owners have no way to defend themselves against these billion-dollar corporations that come in. One of the hardest things is that they're buying up these large swaths of industries in regions, right? There's a company called Champions Group right now in the South.
Crazy thing is that's like so conservative. It's crazy that conservatives basically set up a system so that like business gets like carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want, and then they start crying about when those businesses have the natural progression happen, and then they get huge, and then they combine and they get so super powerful, and the conservatives have been sitting there going, don't tell them they have to do anything at all, don't hold them responsible in any way, shape, or form, let them do whatever they want, and then they start, but then they get irritated when those corporations get so big that they're like kicking all the small businesses out and like destroying the competition that they think it's like, this is the natural progression of late stage cap. Never mind, fucking stupid. Sorry, it's so irritated with this lady. Thanks, Jess. Give me a fucking aneurysm on a Thursday morning. That's funny. Let me see here. What do we got from the people, from the gang? That's what we're gonna call them. The punklet gang. Let's see. Grand Theft Autobot said Trump speaks of failure, death, and destruction for the nation. But how can a nation succeed life and build on the backs of broken baby skulls in the slurry of blood and bone? Totally metal. That actually is pretty metal. I kind of like that. Are those lyrics? Because that's pretty cool, actually. That's or did somebody say that I missed it? I don't know. Let me see. Michael said, no pronouns. Love says we can't use them. Well, I gotta love you, so I gotta be cruel and shitty to you because love, I gotta love you. The reason I'm mean to you is because I love you. It's so abusive. It's crazy that they can't get that's abuse. They're so manipulated. Their brain has just been in the fucking I gotta be okay with being abused blender, so then everybody else has to be okay with being abused. You know, like I am. Why isn't everybody else okay with people being mean to them? Because that's not fucking cool, man. You shouldn't be okay with people being mean to you either. Jesus. She ain't wrong. Calling people other than who they are is lying. How do we know who they are, though? Do we ask them, or do we make stuff up, which is better for truth or kindness? Exactly, because that's the thing. They don't get that trans people are being themselves. That's why they are. It's like you don't go through all of this if you're not. I don't know. It's so insane to me. And yet then they will turn around and say, I'm trying to be less of myself and I want to be more like Jesus. It's like, dude, you're the one that's not being yourself. You're the one that's being dishonest, lady. You're the one trying to be someone else. It's so sad. And she's got that abuse victim. I don't know, just that. And it's sad because I do feel bad for a lot of these. I don't know if I'd call it victim. Is it a victim if you put? I don't know. I don't know. I do feel bad for these people, though. Let me just say, I do feel bad that they are going through this, but they've made their fucking bed. They've basically made it so that they are okay with people mistreating them, and so that's why they expect that of everybody else. It's really sad. Martin said, no record of wrong. She obviously never been married. I know, right? And that one, that freaks me out. That's why, I always was saying, like, when Nikki and I get married, we'll maybe do that Bible verse, because I still was a fundamentalist growing up and I still was a Christian and all that. So maybe we'll read the love. I went back and read it. I was like, no, never mind. Fuck this shit. This is an abuser. This is an abuser trying to get the person that they want to abuse to agree to being abused. That's what this is. It's pretty bad. It's like, you always have to be nice to me, even if I'm terrible to you. That's it. It's in the Bible. The Bible says, be cool with me being awful. All right. Warm Food said, the love God teaches you to have. I know, it's the worst. It's like a love that nobody wants. Excuse me. Sucks. All right. Drusilla, what's up? Drusilla said, lifestyle. I know. It's a lifestyle. It's just being yourself is not, you know what I mean? Just existing. Oh, God. So frustrating. Amber said, I'll wag my finger and judge. Goddamn right. No, judge you. No, you. It's like, you're the one that's shame on you. I could just hear John Oliver doing that. No, shame on you. Shame on you. Sorry. Michael said, I have 2 cis nephews that would rather be called a name other than the one given to them. No issues. And my niece even changed her name on her birth certificate. Still no issues. Yeah, what the fuck? Who cares? Like, I feel more comfortable going by Brently. Like, I just do. That, I feel like Brent just sounds very, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit my personality. Like, I don't know. It just feels very boring, It just doesn't sound, I just don't like it. And so, yeah, I go by Brently because it just feels right to me, And so I don't see any problem with doing that for other people. It's just a respect thing. It's just about, see, this is why I feel like Christians, they love exclusive stuff because they want to be treated the way they want to be treated, but they don't want to treat anyone the way anybody else wants to be treated, and then they will do this thing because of the way that their golden rule is worded. It's like, treat people the way you would want to be treated. Well, you have now conditioned yourself to be okay with being abused, because you want somebody to constantly be beating you over the head with the standard that you're supposed to be living by. So everybody else must really truly want that too, actually. That's what, no. We aren't, we haven't conditioned ourselves to be abused. Nope. No, that's just you. And we'd actually like to help you out and get you out of that cycle of abuse. But, but you're not going to listen to us try to help you. It's you trying to help everybody else with your fucking truth magic. The talking donkey book. So it's truth. What a stupid shit. Oh God. All right, I'm gonna skip down some. All right, what we got here? What do we got? Oh, we got a new gloff. What? New gloff. All right. RuneScape. I don't know what that is. That sounds like a game. Is that a game? You playing games? What's that? Ember, is that a game? I don't know. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, and Al Trucker just got out of the shower. You know that those trucks have little showers in them. What? Oh, they don't? Oh, the rest. I'm sorry. The rest areas have. Sorry, Al. I didn't. But okay. So that's cool. You in your own shower or a rest area shower? I don't know. Just asking. Today is a weird day. I'm actually thinking that too. That's funny that you said that. Because I'm just like, I feel weird today. Something's off. It's fine though. I'm okay. Everything's fine. We're good. So stop talking about it. Me. I'm not talking to me. I'm going to stop talking about it. What is this? RuneScape stream 2007 says, I don't know what any of that means, dude. But thanks for hanging out. No clue what's happening. Oh, are they advertising stuff? Weird. That's strange. I'm just gonna ignore it. Let's see here. Wimford said, I have to throw in some goddess talk too, because God is non-binary, gender fluid. Am I right? Yes, you are right. That's right. Because what even is the concept of God? What does that even mean? That's why we had to, in philosophy, boil it down to the God of classical theism, right? Because the definition gets so watered down that it is completely useless by the end, right? And that's why we don't want to do that. That's why it's so weird. Just even the concept. That's why I kind of like Ember and I, we were talking about atheism the one time, and it's like the concept of not believing in a God is just so strange. It's almost like saying that we have to, like, do you believe in a Flarganalarg? If you don't, you don't believe in a Flarganalarg. Okay. So you actively disbelieve. So you do believe that a Flarganalarg doesn't exist, right? It's like, what? What even is it? It's something that's made up. Like, we don't even know what its attributes are, how it does anything, like what it is at all. It makes no sense. And you're just telling me I have to not believe in it, or I have to believe that it doesn't exist. It's like, what even is it? Give me some kind of coherent definition and then we'll talk. But the definition, and once they're like all powerful, all this and all that, they're now outside of the realm of coherence of their definition, right? Because anything doesn't make sense. Anyway, I know it's not really talking about it. I'm just trying to not talk about this lady for a few seconds here. Like anything to get away from, because she sucks. She sucks. Anyway, man, Bob was there. Hey, what's up, dude? Bob Ali said, like, who the fuck are you to decide who they are for them? Exactly. That's the thing. And again, I think it's because they let other people decide who they are, right? So they think everybody wants to behave like that. Everybody wants to just let everybody else tell everybody else who they are, because they can't get that they've basically been brainwashed out of being who they actually are, so that they can be sheep in line with their, doing everything they're supposed to do. And it's like, supposed to do according to who? Well, the people that I think are, right about everything, that have told me that I have to do what I'm supposed to do. And so you're supposed to do stuff too. And if you're not doing this stuff you're supposed to do, that's bad, and I should make laws so that you aren't allowed to do the stuff that I think you're not supposed to do. Like, that's what happens here. It's fucking insane. Wormfood said, the rally car races, there are cool though. I love a souped up Subaru. WRX. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. I don't know cars. I don't know a lot of stuff, actually. Sports, cars. Most of the things that are expected of me as a man, I don't know. I just am not. It was like, what kind of, I had to go the other day. So I got a car, right? And I'm trying to get it on the road. And it's a Hyundai. And I called for the insurance. I was like, oh, I'll just do it at work, and I'll just call and get the insurance set up. And then I can, over the weekend, I can go do the tags and title and all that shit. Right. And I called and they were like, what kind of car is it? And I'm like, it's a Hyundai. And they're like, what's like the model? And I'm like, fuck. A Hyundai. It's the Hyundai. Like, what year is it? Fuck. I had to like go into the book or whatever and like look for the make and model and everything, because that's how little I know about cars and shit. And I was not thinking that, of course, I thought it was more me that I would need the insurance. It would be them look me up, if I had any accident. That's what I would think would matter, with my personal information. No, I need the car stuff too, of course. So stupid. Oh, Jesus. So a little behind on getting the car on the road. My neighbor's not happy. They're like, can you get this thing out of the alleyway, please? It's ridiculous. Wolfo said, Michael Bell, I thought it was a club marathon, just bar hopping up and down the mountain. That's awesome. We got a lot of those down here, bar hops too. We have in St. Petersburg, Florida, they have, as far as I understand, maybe this is changed now, but we have the most bars in the smallest amount of space, right? We don't have the most bars overall, right? But we have the most bars in the most compact space, right? That's it. It's like if you go downtown St. Pete, it's just like bar, like just every other building or every other establishment is a bar. Sometimes it's like an antique shop and a bar. That you can do both. You can do both. It's that's it's like, no, my sister likes to sell antiques, but we got to make money down here somehow. So bar as well. It's also a bar. That's right. Yeah, that's that's St. Pete, man. It's like the fucking drunks town. Let's see here. Wormfood said, you don't need medicine or therapy. You need me to abuse you. Even worse. Transphobia is a form of medical/scientific denialism. Yeah, transphobia. Yeah, exactly. It is. I mean, it's this is a planet-wide consensus of scholarship for medical science that these treatments are actually very, very, very helpful and lead to far better outcomes just based on raw data. It's scientific. It is based in like psychology, and everything else. It's very much so. It very much so has the evidence, right? So when people are sitting there saying that, oh no, it's that it makes people sad or whatever once they do transition, that is completely false. A lot of those what people are citing when they talk about that are studies that are bullshit. They're studies that were like self-reporting from the parents of trans kids and stuff. Self-reporting from I kind of feel like my kid's not as happy now, they're not, they feel like they're not doing, and that ends up being a data point in a study, right? A study, but it wasn't a study, and it didn't pass any kind of what do you call it, peer review or anything like that. It gets shut down real quick, but it doesn't matter. The damage is done. Now they have something they can cite, right? It's so frustrating. I don't know why these people are so hard up against trans folks. It's like there's like 4 people. It's like hardly. It's just crazy. It's just like they're so fucking insecure. That's what it is. They're so insecure about like their masculinity or their femininity or whatever it is. I don't know, but they just get so angry when they see people not living the way they think they're supposed to, even if it's just how you dress, how you talk, and how you are addressed. Holy fucking shit, who cares? Insanity. My goodness. I mean, like what, like gender, anything doesn't even make sense anymore. Like women wear pants, Men can wear skirts and stuff. It just doesn't matter. You know, there isn't any like stable thing that says like all men have to do this, all women have to do that. You have to wear your hair like this. I have to wear like there is no standard like that. So it's just crazy that this matters to people. It's frustrating. I hate it. Let's see here. I gotta start wrapping up. The sequel one's here. What's up, dude? I thought this was a bad take by Morgan Freeman. Fuck yes, it was a bad take. I remember Nikki and I were talking about this when it happened. And yeah, she's kind of like always been ever since like he's fucked up. Like he said really fucked up stuff that just gives that gives the racists a person to point to go, see, he doesn't want us to like to ever, he's saying it's okay for us to be racist and nobody can call it that. Nobody can talk about what we're actually doing here. It's like, of course the cancer wants you to not diagnose the cancer. Of course that's what the cancer wants. It's like, please don't diagnose me. Let's just not even talk about me. Let's just act like it's not real. Okay. And then when I get to eat the entire person, it's just don't even say anything about it then either. Let's say it's just probably something else. Of course. Why is racism wrong? Not non-rhetorical question. You serious? Because it's mistreating people based on something that they were born with, and it's kind of historically been the case that white people have tried to make things unfair for black people. And yeah, so when we point out that something is right, like you're treating that person unfairly, that's, they get mad. They go, oh no, it's not, don't tell me I'm treating people unfairly, and don't tell me I'm treating people unfairly because of this historical problem that we have had in this country. Don't say that. I'm allowed to just treat people unfairly. It's because of the content of their character. That's why I'm treating them in this way. Okay. It's not because of the color of skin. It's the content of their character. And I think they have bad character. And that's why I'm treating them unfairly. So I don't know what you want. Racism's bad because it's just you wouldn't want people to behave that way towards you. You wouldn't want to be treated unfairly and then be told that you're not actually being treated unfairly. And then it's not anything to do with what it obviously is to do with gaslighting shit. Let's see here. Left-handed Jedi said critical thinking is a sin to them. That's right. Yeah, you're not allowed to question things. Don't ever question the supposed. There's all in the supposed. It's like the conservative thing. It's just everything's supposed to go the way that we say everything's supposed to go. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, well, then you deserve whatever bad things come for you, because we decide what you are supposed to do. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, exactly. If you don't, thank you. HL said, if you don't test, there will be no new cases of COVID. I remember the come over cantaloupe saying the come over cantaloupe saying that. Yeah, exactly. And that is exactly the point, is that don't talk about it, is just give them carte blanche. Why do you think it always is the racists, like the literal KKKs? Why do you think they're the ones saying that nobody should ever talk about things being racist? Why do you think that? Why do you think they don't like it when people characterize things as racist? Right? Because they want to be able to do what they want their fucking cake and to eat it too. They want to be able to do the racist thing, right? And also not be labeled that, because they're just that fucking entitled. It's like, oh God, they're just like, it's like dealing with fucking bratty, petulant children. That's what dealing with racists is like. It's so fucking obnoxious. Anyway, all right, where are we at here? I'm gonna skip down, make sure that I don't have any. BS Lewis is here. What's up, dude? Hey, drunk people in an antique shop doesn't sound like the smartest business. It's okay. It's a padded room where the bar is at. and everything's behind plexiglass. You know, you have to ask them to go get the stuff from the back. You know, it's kind of like it's something where they do that, like the shoes, like a shoe store. Except you got the, you know, you just got, they go like, we got to go get it out of the back. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, but we do, I wouldn't say antique. It is like an antique, but it's also more like a thrift. It's like thrifts, antique bar. It's a cool place, actually. I enjoyed it. I can't think of the name of it. But yeah, it's all of everything's a bar down there. It just is. It's downtown St. Pete, man. It's Bar City, you know. Let's see here. Let's see what One Food said. One Food said, Lewis, neither does cocaine in a nursing home. But what a show. Oh, that's not a good combination. Neither is cocaine in a nursing home, but boy, what a show. And BS said, I'm not going to give that one shay. I'm going to give that 2 shays. You know? Oh, that was awesome. All right, y'all. I actually do got to get running. But let me make sure nobody else. Oh, and Clesius showed up. All right. Clesius here. We're good. All right. As long as Clesia made it, you know, we're okay. We're okay now. And Andromedas. Hey, what's up? Fuck, I'm so late. Yeah, you are. You are. Because now I'm about to I'm about to call it. You know, I got 3 minutes before I got to start getting ready. And but hey, thank y'all so much for hanging out. This is a lot of fun. This one was interesting, huh? This lady. Little Miss Bigot is what I'm calling her, you know. And but the main thing though, if if you want to be the opposite of a bigot and have like good clean fun, go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brently at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com and enter that code word Brently. That's Brently at checkout. And get your exclusive offer. If you want to support the show, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, and entering that code word Brently. Or you can go to patreon.com/punk apostate. You can become a patron there. It's all the stuff that YouTube doesn't let me do. You know, or you can become a member here, right? You can do that now. And that has some special stuff too. If you didn't see the stream from yesterday, that is now up for members only. And it was good. It was Ray Comfort was on. It's what called into the Atheist experience, and we had a lot of fun. It was just it was a very silly show, and it was blast. So, but yeah, if you want to go do that, it'd be great. But if you want to just do a one-time payment, you know, anything helps really with us at the show here. So if you want to just do any kind of one-time payment, it'd be great. Our cash, you know, on Cash App is where we get our stuff, and our cash tag is Punk Apostate, all one word. So yeah, if you want to just give us anything you can there, that is always helpful. I really appreciate it. The main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate, and we'll see you next time.